Hey everyone, how are you? My name's Sean. I just wanted to do a quick video of the Autoform Group AFR Shaker Ram air system for the Challengers. This is a company out of Michigan. Steve Dreyer is the owner. I believe he specializes in Dodge Viper fabrication and parts and bodywork. He actually just recently probably been in for a couple of years, he's been in Dodge Challenger as well. I think he creates some body kits for like CUDA. He specializes in a TA scoop and a ram air system, and he makes a shaker one. So I know there are some other kits out there, Cervini's. I can't think of the other one on top of my head. I think Cervini's is more on the affordable side. I can't comment on the quality. I've never seen it, never touched it. I wanted AFR because I like the idea that I could swap the scoop whenever I felt like it. So I'll be ordering the TA scoop, and I could pop that on easily, as opposed to the other system. So the system can take both the shaker and the TA. To be honest, now I have the shaker. That's the one I primarily bought the system with. I really like this, and I don't know if I can switch to the TA yet. I think it'll take a year or two of driving this, and then I'll move it over. Anyways, just wanted to give a quick show and tell on the hood. There's not a lot of videos online. So I'm sorry about the tight spots. My garage isn't that big. So this is a 2014. As you can see, it's a header orange. This hood comes from AFR in two forms. You can either get it painted by Steve and have it shipped to you, or you can have it unpainted, which comes in the black gel coat. And then you'll have to do all the prep work, or give it to a body shop and have them do the prep work. In my case, I had to do all the prep work. I ordered it unpainted. It takes 6 to 7 weeks from order date to delivery to build this. Really beyond exceptional fiberglass work. Those of you who messed with it before, or have had fiberglass work in the past, you can be aware that you probably will know that your line work on the hoods, sometimes you order a hood and the edge of the hood is kind of overlapping the fender. In that case, you're spending hours of sanding your life away trying to get this thing to match and line up. In this case, when I got the hood, that did not happen. Everything lined up perfectly, with the exception of, I think, the gaps. I may have sanded the edge on the gel coat with 320, I believe, a couple times over. I just took a little 1/8 of an inch off, just to make sure the lines were straight down the middle. I'm not going to push the hood down yet because I don't want to go and latch it and every whatnot. But yeah, so I just wanted to get started with this. So he does offer the ability to pre-drill your hood pins if you want hood pins. You don't have to. This is free. He does it for no cost. He has a jig apparently, which he told me, and if you have the Mopar pins, excuse my messy garage, freaking embarrassing. If you have the hood pins for Mopar, then this system will work. A lot of guys, I think, are rather hesitant to do this because they wonder, hey, if we pre-drill the hood, will these pins match up? Which I completely understand and get it. I wasn't going to do it, I was just going to do it myself, but I figured, what the hell, give it a try. If he has a jig, and he convinced me he never had a problem with it from the people who ordered. And it worked out. It really does. So let me get to the nitty-gritty of this, and I'll start a new video. Okay, so here's the top end of the hood. I don't know, that light glare is driving me bananas, but I'm sorry. But I'm just trying to give you the look between the finished look and the color match between the fender and the hood. Really happy with how the paint turned out. I did get this black gel coated from Steve. I had to sand that down, coat a primer, sealer on it. This guy has 3 coats, a base coat, and then 2 other coats on top of that. And lightly sanded that out and then put a coat of clear on. It's hours of sanding, believe it or not. Those of you who are unfamiliar with body work, it's pretty much, I think, everything. If you're going to hand do it, everything is in the sanding. If you don't sand, and do it properly, you're not going to get that smooth, glossy glass finish. So I'm really happy with the way the hood turned out. I had Steve pre-drill the hood pins for me. I noticed I didn't attach the bezel yet. This actually was a chrome kit. You can see there's some chrome right there. I'm playing with it. I don't know. I used Plasti-Dip. It was my first time using Plasti-Dip. Some guys in the forum mentioned how cool it was and easy, and it actually turned out not that bad. My first time doing it, I had a lot of bumps, a lot of imperfections in it. I peeled it off. It peels right off. It's kind of like a dried up silly putty when you peel it off. And I resprayed it again. And you can get Plasti-Dip at Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store. And I think I have some right here. This stuff. Performix Plasti-Dip, Rubber Hose. They sell it in a bucket too, and you can dump it in a bucket. But I just figured the spray would try the spray out. I like it. Like the orange on black. The reason you're wondering, like, hey, why didn't you just buy the black kit, was because I bought this used. Some guy ate up the initial cost of whatever these things cost for the kit. For the Mopar kit, it's what, 180 or something like that. You guys probably know. I actually got it for like 75 bucks online. So, and the guy never used it. He had it in the box still, but it was chrome. Had the chrome lanyards and everything was chrome. I wanted black, so rather than get bezels and put the old school bezels from the 70 Challengers and put rivets inside, I just said screw it. Let's just do the 3M tape and we'll Plasti-Dip it black and see how that comes out. And I might keep it. Not bad. I like it. Let's open this up. This if you can see, the air filter, which let me pop the hood first. Jeez, first time with the hood. I painted the undercoat as well. A lot of guys leave it black. Some guys like to paint it too. I thought it gives it that cool finish look. Same thing. Sanded this down. Did a Scotch-Brite, scuffed it up. Sanded it. Primer. 2 coats of paint, 2 coats of clear. Sanded that down neatly with a little buff. And it came out really well. I didn't really get the imperfections. I didn't care about it because it is the underside of the hood. I go to car shows as a spectator. I don't really bring my car, but if I was to show anyone, show that off, I guess you would care to do that up probably. That is, to me, it's the underside of the hood, so it's no big deal. But I think it gives it that cool, smooth finish look, and it does look pretty good. Anyways, I just put this on tonight, so bear with me here. I don't have the covers. I didn't put these in because here's the pins for Mopar. If you don't know or haven't seen those before, they use the stock frame bolt, one here, and this plastic clip comes out and it actually just pushes back in, and it sits in this hole too. So it's kind of cool. You don't have to drill into the frame. Another reason why I went with Mopar. I didn't feel like drilling into the car frame. I didn't feel like drilling those holes, so I had Steve do it. And hey, if I could buy this for 80 bucks and he already drilled the hole, I'm good. So it did work out, and as you can see, get this out of the way. It's like dead center. When you push the hood down, this literally sits in the center. Was really happy with that. So that's one of the things I was worried about when I got the hood. But when I saw it was in the vicinity of matching and it did line up, I was like, woohoo! Here's the bubble. So on a stock Challenger, your airbox sits right here. It's in my trunk right now. This is your fresh air duct, pulls in from the bumper. That all comes out. Throttle body's under here. I know some of you guys have like a resonator right here. I know some guys cut it out. All that comes out. This acts as a cold air intake, kind of say. It's probably an oxymoron. I don't know, but I think it just does as good as any of the other cold air intakes out there. I really like this thing. It has a cool, when you hit the gas, you really hear it sucking the air in. It's pretty sweet. I'm gonna try and get a light here. So like in the old Challengers, the shaker system had the carbureted filter up there. This kind of simulates that, but it's functional too. So the air comes in through the duct, cycles down a little. It's a little, I'll show you right now. It's a little fiberglass molded path, and it goes right into the throttle body. Now this is fiberglass as well. It did come in black. Steve does pre-paint it. Does an awesome job. For some reason, me being me, I wet sanded the 500 and repainted again because I thought I was going to change some color schemes to it. I decided, what the hell, I'm going to leave it alone. And then I ended up just putting it back to black. It's not done. It is scratched. I'm sorry, I unscrewed it for the sake of the video to make it easy so you don't have to see me unscrewing stuff. It is black. It is scratched, I meant. So I do have to redo it and go over it. So it's still a work in progress. Now, I don't have the screws that Steve usually ships. Let me go see if I can find them. Hold on a sec. I'll give you a quick... I think it's right. Here's all the stuff for the car. And here are the screws. These are the screws that came on the Shaker originally. My garage is a mess. It's small. I have kids, so any of you in that situation, I can understand what I'm going through. These were the screws. Very, very, very good looking. Very, very nice finished look. As you can see, there's some orange in here. That is not stock. I went out and did a crazy paint scheme. So I changed these out. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's. I found some Allen screws that were the same thread size. I think these are M4 or 5. I'm not sure. I can look at the bag and definitely, if anyone's wondering, put that in the comments or whatever. Use the Allen screws, and they give it a really, really smooth finished look. And you're gonna see the reason why I changed that in a moment. First of all, is I didn't want to carry around a Phillips screwhead driver. I have a 4mm wrench I can just carry with me and just flip it around. And I always end up dropping screws, so I don't know, it's just easier for me. I think it's a mental thing. Anyways, I'm going to pop this open. So I'm going to put the camera down and take that off gently. So okay. Here we go. A lot has changed here for those of you who have this system. I spent about 2 days on this, so I'm not done. Well, it is done, but I need to do a lot of finalizing. So here is this is all fiberglass, by the way, molded. Really, really cool. It's really done well. I just tightened this down, but this bolt you can loosen this bolt here, and this is actually a rain guard. It is the top of the air filter cap, but as you can see here, there's a lip. If you unbolt this, which I'm not gonna do right now because you don't want to see me unscrewing stuff, if you loosen this up, you can turn this, and this lip, which sits right there, will face the front, and it acts as a rain guard, so the rain will hit it, fall down into these holes here, which will then route to these tubes, just like the old school guys. The tubes will then just drain down to the frame. There is a drain hole right here in the front of the Shaker, so this is when the cover's on. It'll go down this trough, which here works awesome. Yeah, I put water down there. So yeah, this is originally black when Steve sent it to you. I thought it was cool to have a color scheme matching the color of the car. So that is primed, 2 coats, and 1 coat of clear. So buff that out a little bit. There are little imperfections I show, but nothing can be perfect. So it's like for the quality here, really, really above and beyond. Again, the small things that I made mistakes doing with the paint. But I don't think anyone's really going to notice. Again, you can see this with the cover on. It's mainly the front. I did it for the screws. Okay, this is what's going to be different if those of you who have the system. I did some changes. I thought that the chrome screws would not pop really on the orange because I already knew I was going to paint this orange. then it kind of me, let's paint this orange. So I drilled out with I think it was a 1/2" bit. I drilled out what was here? It wasn't screws. It was I drilled out these rivets here that were originally here. They were chrome. I don't have them with me. I threw them away. And then I went out to Home Depot again, matched the thread size with Loctite bolts on the bottom, self-locking nuts, and I actually broke off the seal that Steve actually ships us with you. This is sealed with a black silicone. I used some piano wire, broke through. It took my time. You know, this took the course of a night and a half. So I took my time with this, making sure not to damage anything extra. It's kind of fragile. It's fiberglass. It is a custom fabricated piece, and I'm not trying to offend AFR by any means. I'm just trying to make it my own. Improve on some areas that I would like to like the screws, for example. But all I can say is that it's really well built, and I'm very happy with this. And I thought it'd be really cool to be different. So as you can see here, you're gonna see a little bit black silicone on the edges. I just put it down early this morning, so I gotta trim it out. But yeah, after pulling this off, I put piano wire in, ran it along to break the original seal. Then I was able to prep it, paint it, whatnot, drill these holes out, put it all back together, use black silicone, reseal it after stripping off the old stuff, the old silicone that was on the bottom of it. Everything matched up, so I just gotta, like I said, trim these edges here. Here's your oil cap. Those of you wondering where does your oil cap go? I believe there's an intake breather hose here, and that plugs into the bottom of the shaker, which if you were to take that out and put it to the stock air box, that would go to the little tube that would sit here. I don't have the air box on me, so I can't show you, but that's pretty much what I've done to it so far. Now I did use the same finished screws that I put on the top end of the shaker bubble. I put those little Allen, but you can't, these won't move. They're kind of in the fiberglass. I think I might have what do you call it? Locked the threads with the blue Loctite, and make sure those things aren't moving. So again, they were originally chrome rivets. I thought, hey, let's use black rivets. I couldn't find the right size black rivets. I think the heads were like a 1/4 of an inch too big, and they just didn't fit. And there were certain areas like down here where they're just gonna break everything. And so it ended up, I wanted to go black. I didn't want to paint the rivets, so I thought, hey, just go with these screws I picked up at the depot. So worked out really well, and I do like it. So I will post, this is pretty much it. I'll try to post another video with the car running at a later date. But those of you who wanted the close-up, here it is. So let me go one more thing. Yeah, let's wonder where all that goes. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't. This is another custom molded piece from Steve. This actually goes into the throttle body, or where the stock air box would plug into. Let me see if I can get it from this side. Nickel light. You can see it right there. There's the bolt that a lot of you guys mount your catch cans from on the fender. And as you can see, this could probably take a catch can right there because mine's over here. As you can see, it's all custom fiberglass as well. It's all scuffed up, but who cares? You're not going to see it from the bottom. Air comes in here. This is all hollow inside where the air filter goes, and then it just drips right through down to the throttle body. So I like it. I'm not going to get into debate over, power gain stuff. I don't think you don't get power gains from changing an intake, as far as I'm concerned. So I did this pretty much for the nostalgia, the look, and I always wanted a shaker since I was little, and I have it. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, or if you guys are doing a build, let me know, and then we'll go from there. I had to, oh yeah, one more thing is when I put this on top bottom, this guy right here, I had to unbolt the latch, move it over, I think 1/4 inch to the right, slightly up. I wiggled the bolts up to get this to latch down properly. So let me actually show you. That goes down. Let me pull off the pin over here, the cover, so it doesn't go flying. And here we go, just to show you how well this thing really sits. Done. Just like the stock hood. It is pretty sweet when you see it in person. The orange on the orange. I think I've seen a video on YouTube of some guy driving it like that too. Anyways, so that's it for now. Hope this works, was informative, and have a good one. Bye bye.